Welcome to the MagiReco news. I'm your anchor, the Rosielam. Today's news is a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Our top story today, Kazumi? I was kind of expecting the Halloween unit. Everyone was basically expecting the Halloween unit, maybe in the first of maybe two Halloween units. But Kazumi, so Kaoru's getting an uncap. That's good. She's actually a pretty good free-to-play character for ranked mirrors if you're going for a charge strategy. So if you're going for a charge strategy in mirrors and you're just missing that X factor that does you that amazing charge draw SE active, there you go. She's getting uncapped now. But she's from a limited gacha, so if you don't have her, you know, there's a rerun for the gacha. So don't worry about that. There's a rerun for the another day's gacha where you get Kazumi. Keep in mind, by the way, this unit right here is called Kazumi, just Kazumi, nothing else. This gets important in a second. And of course, Kaoru is in there. So if you want Kaoru, you can just throw a handful of rolls at this gacha and hope that you get her. And I hope you get Kazumi as well, because Kazumi is pretty cool. You also get these memorias on here. These are all kind of unimportant. Sadly, Kazumi, the team memoria isn't here, because that was an event memoria, and they're not rerunning the Kazumi event. They're just running the gacha, so these ones are not actually that good. However, what's new? What's new? It's this. It's Kazumi Subaru. There we go. It's why it's important. Why the name. This one is not just Kazumi. This is Kazumi Subaru. This is what it means. Subaru. That's just the way you have to distinguish the two now. However, some people, and I used to call her that as well, just Final Kazumi, which, you know, is fine. You can just call it Final Kazumi, is also fine. There's lore reasons why she's called that, but fucking lore, whatever. Read Kazumi manga, guys. It's a good manga. It might not be the best written, but it's got heart. It's got more heart than a bunch of other manga out there, okay? Let me put it this way. So, what is this actually? So this is Kazumi Subaru. She's a light type attacker. Once again, as always, there will be an in-depth video about this, and about, I might do Kaoru 5-star uncap. No, I'm gonna make a video for Kaoru 5-star uncap, and then a video about Kazumi Subaru. But for now, just very quickly go over this. Her connect gives attack up and guaranteed crit, because it's actually the first character with a connect that gives guaranteed crit. A lot of characters are out there that give like 70% crit, 60% crit. Masala gives like 85% crit, but this is like 100% crit on connect, which is pretty cool. So that's some thumbs up here. Some actual guaranteed damage. That's pretty good. What else does a Magia do? It damages all enemies. It gives attack down and defense down to all enemies for 3 turns. Damn, that's pretty spicy. Not useful for strong accounts, but, and this is the kind of thing I'm gonna get to in just a second, but I might as well say it right now, this is a character that seems very, very good for fresh accounts, for accounts that don't have that much stuff, because debuffing attack and defense on enemies is really, really good if your characters are not that strong. Like, debuffing enemy attack and defense becomes less and less useful the stronger your characters are, but if your characters aren't actually that strong, like if you have a fresh account, then a character that debuffs enemies attack and defense is actually pretty darn awesome. So this is what the Magia does. And she also buffs her own attack and her own damage for 3 turns. That's pretty good. It doesn't say what the doppel does. I don't think it says it down there. But maybe the doppel does it for like 5 turns, as you would expect. Maybe something else. Well, I don't know. So her SE active does attack down and defense down to all enemies for 3 turns. Which is basically the same thing that Magia does, which also is attack down and defense down to all enemies for 3 turns. So if you use a Magia, if you use her active, every single enemy is just getting meteor rain for like 3 turns, which is pretty darn good. So yeah, pretty good. What else do we have? We have as a passive, sword. Basically the sword effect. You know, the sword strikes between light and dark. So we have just as an SE passive, the sword strikes between light and dark as an effect right here, which, in case you don't quite remember, gives attack up as well as a bonus attack up at full HP. So if you use at full HP, she gets even more attack. That's pretty cool to have that passively, but it kind of sucks, because if you just get hit once, you lose this effect, right? Nope, because she has barrier. She also has barrier for 5,000 barrier at the beginning of the battle for, it doesn't say how many turns, actually for infinite turns, or unless like the barrier breaks, I guess, which is 5,000, not that much. But it's nice to have very small enemies. If you like farming, maybe small enemies won't immediately break, so you can keep your sword effect for longer. Awesome. What else do we have? We have skill quick, which is funny because she's an attacker and she has skill quick, and she's only the second attacker in the game who has skill quick, the other one being Cool Homura. cool. Interestingly enough, she's not Exceed type, even though lore-wise, she really should have been an Exceed type, because, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil stuff, but with how powerful Kazumi Subaru is, should have been Exceed type. Anyway, she's attacker type. There's some memorial down here. This one gives attack down and defense down to all enemies for 3 turns. Man, where have I seen that effect before? Attack down, defense down to all enemies. Haha, just kidding, is that not actually what this does? This is slightly different, okay? So it still does defense down to all enemies, okay? That part is the same. However, it actually does attack up to yourself, okay? So it's slightly different. It's not exactly the same effect as up here. You can't say that they've copy-pasted this. They have copy-pasted it and then just changed one of the 2 effects. Okay, but yeah, so defense down to all enemies and attack up to yourself for 3 turns. Cool. Very similar, by the way, to the Era of Law memo, which also gives basically the exact same amount of attack up to yourself for 3 turns, but it gives defense up to yourself, while this one gives defense down to enemies. It's more aggressive, making it a better Memoria, because the defense up on you oftentimes is not that important, but the defense on enemies at least does something to increase your DPS, so that's pretty good. But it's only slightly better. That only makes it slightly better than Era of Law Memoria, which in my opinion does not make this a Memoria worth rolling for. I mean, no Memoria is worth rolling for, but specifically not this one, because it's just slightly better than Era of Law Memoria, and most players out there have a bunch of Era of Law Memoria, especially if you've been playing for a long time, just lying around. So yeah. And the other one is just cleanse, debuffs, and heals self for only a little bit. Not really that useful, because why take a Memoria like this if you can just take a Memoria that gives you ailment resistance? Or, I mean, if it's a Force Memoria, it will have better stats, meaning you don't need to heal yourself because you take less damage. Like, healing and restoring status is always strictly worse than just not getting into that position in the first place. So just play any better Force Memoria, and you're gonna not need this one. Anyway, that's Kazumi Subaru. For some reason, the event is called the Cuddly Despairs. What kind of name is that? But you know what? That's fine, that's fine. Actually, you know why it has a name like this? Because this event apparently has been written directly with the original creator of Kazumi Magica, which I think the original event for Kazumi wasn't. I think the original Kazumi event was written by F4S writers and maybe had some oversight a little bit from the original Kazumi writer, but when the rerun happened for Kazumi, during the Kazumi rerun, the writer actually rewrote a bunch of stuff, because, yeah, apparently the writer just wasn't there for the original Kazumi event when that was written. But this time, the Kazumi writer is actually on board, and the Kazumi writer has a naming scheme that just comes up with a name like this. I mean, the subtitle for the original Kazumi manga is The Innocent Malice. The Innocent Malice, The Cuddly Despairs. Yeah, okay, sure. I guess that works out. So some people that have been watching this news up until now might have been wondering, yeah, okay, but Kazumi Subaru, Final Kazumi, isn't that like Kazumi spoilers? Are we getting into spoiler territory for Kazumi? Yeah, because this right here is, I can't really say, this is Kazumi and Kazusa. Who is Kazusa? Well, that's more spoilers, and that's not me spoiling this, by the way. They've written it down right here. Right here, they already talk about Kazusa Michiru. Apparently, is going to be in the story, so that's cool. That's cool. They're just gonna drop spoilers in here immediately. This might be like the Tard events. Like the Tard events straight up spoiled the entirety of Tard, even including the finale and everything. But in here, it seems like the Kazumi author is going to be like, you know what, I'm going to do the exact same shit with Kazumi as well. Although it seems like they're going in a completely different route. Like, it's probably going to be an original story that just also happens to spoil Kazumi, so yay. It's a double tower, by the way. It's not a double tower, yay. People love double towers. Actually, people do love double towers. You get to farm a lot of rank experience doing this, but they're not very interesting to actually play. And yeah, bonus drops from Memoria, blah blah. You get a background. Do they have an image of the background? You can kind of see the background right here. It's the more Kazumi spoilers. It's the freezer. So that's going to be a background as well. You also get to pick up Umika in the store. So yeah, you get Umika as well. Pretty cool. So yeah, the background, I guess, is important, but apparently the background also has its own background music. And as always, I say as always, like the last 5 or so events have this special Megoka strengthening, where specific Megoka just during the event get temporary boosts, or at least just get temporarily set to max level, max slots, max everything just for the event. In this case, it's applying to Kazumi Subaru, to Kazumi, you can see them right next to each other here, to Kaoru and to Umika. So they're getting the special boost. No one uses this. Even if you have a really fresh account, you're probably gonna raise the character you want to use immediately. Like, you're not gonna let your character probably that you want to actively use in battle sit on level 1 when it takes a single labyrinth trip to get that character to level 100. Raising new characters has gotten so incredibly easy nowadays that it's maybe a little bit late for this feature to be put into the game, but whatever. That's it. That's all the news. People were really wondering about the Halloween unit. This is not the Halloween unit. Why? Because this event only goes for like 9 days, 8 days even. Yeah. So this event will go for like 9 days, which is not that long. It's actually really short. In fact, they're releasing all the story quests immediately on day 1. This is a 20 quest event, and they're releasing all 20 quests immediately, which usually they don't. Usually they have like 10 and then a few days later another 10. But yeah, all 20 immediately, as well as all challenge quests and EX challenge quests, also as well as 100 Evils quests for this, also getting released on the first day immediately. So this is a very short event. They're making it a very short event. Why? Because by making this event short, it ends on the 29th, meaning that on the 30th we can get the Halloween event. We can still get Alicari. Alicari is still gonna happen. Watch it, guys. Alicari is still gonna happen. But yeah, that's that. Hope you guys know. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys next time.